Thanks for jumping on. Head coach Ben Olsen. Ben, late goal there, point on the road, tough place to play. What are your takeaways from that match tonight?
First half, just didn't start. We started well, and I thought we played a very good half. But we had a moment early that it's not good enough, and it costs us a penalty. And now we're chasing the game again early, and so that has to be fixed. And disappointed certainly in that first opening sequence there. Other than that, again, the first half I thought was really good. It was controlled. We had some trouble getting in behind and getting good looks and progressing into their half. But again, at least we kept them from having the ball at times, and I think that's important for us to do on the road. Second half, they make some adjustments. They threw a bunch of numbers at us again on the front line, and it was hard. And our guys, we struggled to connect the game, so we ended up being pushed back and defending for long stretches. But they can do that, and they usually do against most teams in this building. So again, the resiliency was real. The grit, that we kind of have been finding over the last few weeks, and to get something out of that is a really important emotional point for us. And it happens 2 weeks in a row. The subs came in and did a good job again, and I thought we put a lot of work. The starters put a lot of work in, and so overall a lot of good performances against a very good team, maybe the best team in the league, certainly in this building.
Thanks for that. We'll start with Diego. Go ahead, Diego.
Hey, Ben. You talked a little bit about these moral victories that are coming throughout the season. Can you talk to me a little bit about what this means for the group to be able to have these performances and despite dropping points, still being able to compete against the top teams in the league?
Well, here's what I'll say, and I've said this ad nauseum. We're still finding out who we are. And that's not only our group and who's best in the partnerships and the pairings and all that stuff and the tactics. That's also, what type of soul do we have? What type of, group are we collectively when things aren't going well? And that identity is still forming. In the last 2 weeks, we saw some personality and some reactions that I think makes me really optimistic about the next 8 games and going forward. So, unfortunately, we're still unfortunately we are still figuring it out, and a lot of teams aren't at this stage. But we again that moxie that that we showed the last 2 weeks is an important one, and you need in this league, and we're going to need it if we can make a run at this thing.
Lawrence and Amin both came in as substitutes, and both were involved in Artur's goal. Can you talk to me a little bit about those substitutions and how do you feel that they ended up creating that impact?
Well, Lawrence has proven to be a real weapon off the bench, and the next stage of Lawrence is showing us that he can be a starter and put that type of performance on from the get-go. And he's been, he wants it. And, again, it's another game we got to evaluate to see, what this group looks like. But, Amin has been, kind of his role has shifted a little bit with this group, and he's been unbelievable with it. And I think he struggled with that. But he's a real team guy and understands the energy and the quality that he can bring off the bench when the game's maybe a little bit more open. And again, I thought tonight he did a good job. So we just got to keep finding performances and moments. And I'm happy for Artur tonight. We usually his percentages from shooting, I joke with him, aren't always the greatest, but when he hits it well.
And final question for me, I broke up picked up the red. And what do you have to say maybe about how to navigate the line between building that aggressiveness in the midfield and maybe possibly being able to avoid those?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't even know what happened. I'm assuming, he went into the bench. He gets thrown into their bench. So I got to look at it before I comment on that, because if he's sticking up for himself, sometimes you got to do that. And I challenged the group to be physical and not to be a bunch of nice guys tonight. And sometimes that stuff happens.
Great. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
All right, Dustin, go ahead.
Hey, Ben. You guys deal with a full crowd there in Vancouver. They bring their star on. He scores a goal that gets called off, but you guys stay in the game. You didn't let that affect you. What does that say about this group of guys?
Yeah, well, he was offsides, right? So,
Yeah, the ball before it was.
Yeah, with White, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
White was offsides. Yeah, so so it wasn't a goal, and to your point, it was a festive atmosphere. I think our guys, more times than not, enjoy that and step up to this type of environment. It was nice to spoil their night, just like it was the Austin game, and he's obviously a nice addition to their team, and they'll have to figure out how to work him in, but that's not my problem.
You get a goal from Artur, the captain's goal there. What does that say about his leadership and him stepping up in big moments for you guys?
Well, we've asked a lot of him this year, and it's nice when a guy that does all the little things for you and your group and cares so much about what's going on here to get some notice from scoring a goal, and it's just a good moment for him.
Thanks, man.
Jorge, go ahead.
Good evening, Coach.
Hey, Ward.
Coach, you talked about the team defending themselves, like standing up for themselves. Just overall, tonight's game seemed like it was a lot of pressure, maybe a lot of bully ball, but just how do you build off of this to finish off the season?
Bully ball from us or them? Both?
Both ways?
Yeah, it was a physical game, and I think we all remembered a month ago when they came in and bullied us in our house, and that was a moment where we didn't step up physically. So sure, we turned it up this week and made sure they understood that and showed enough clips that they're prepared for the physicality that this team brings. This Vancouver team is real. Again, I think they're well coached. I think they've got different ways to go after you. Big switches, service. They can break you down the middle. And now that Mueller's there, they're going to have another little dimension with him. So, I just think it's a really good point. And it was never going to be easy here. And they grab something out of this. It at least keeps us in the conversation at least.
You spoke about Anali coming off the bench and wanting to be a starter, but is he still on a minute restriction?
No. Nobody. The only minute restrictions tonight was Antonio, and Zeke, who's coming still back. So, we wanted to push their minutes, and we need to continue to get them 90 minutes fit. But other than that, we knew it was going to be a defensive exercise and set pieces, and a lot of work dealing with their wingers. So sometimes it's not necessarily fair or the sexy choice, but it's one that's the most effective, and I'll stand by some of it. But again, we continue to have some questions about what this best group is, and we'll keep looking at different ways. But you also have to be careful with that and start to build relationships with the same team, playing week in, week out, to catch up with some of these other teams that are well-oiled.
On the topic of finding the best version of the team, is it a bit concerning that Ezekiel Ponce hasn't been able to score since the away game in San Diego?
We always want our forwards to score. But I always get Zeke's back in that he's in the right spots, and he continues to give us what he needs to give on the defensive end, and it'll come. And forward scoring goals is streaky sometimes, and hopefully that's sooner than later.
And lastly, Coach, just on the topic of concerns, just right, how do you partner up with your coaching staff, Coach Colin, and just preventing conceding X amount of goals per games?
We gave up 1 goal to Vancouver away. Look up the stats. Go look at how many teams give up more than 1 goal here in Vancouver. And then you can ask me that when on our next our meeting in 2 days. All right, Jorge?
Get off there. You're the late goal there, another point on the road. How did it feel to you? How does this result kind of help the team move forward here and as you push for the playoffs?
I think it's an important result for us. Playing a very good team in the road. Of course, in the moment we really need the 3 points, but 1 point I think will help us as well, and we need to go with everything at home and keep pushing to get into the playoffs.
Thanks for that. Dustin, go ahead.
Hey, Artur.
Hi, Dustin.
Hey, on your goal, Anali and Bossi kind of combining on that left-hand side. It looks like you came in late. What did you see on that on your goal and when you came into the box or towards the top of the box there?
Yeah, I think I saw that Lawrence stretched them a little bit and was going to sink the midfielders, Vancouver midfielders inside the box a little bit. And I saw the space and I was ready if pass the ball to me. And I was happy to get a very good touch on the ball. And I was waiting to see if the keeper was going to reach for it or not. And happily for us, it was a very good strike and we could get the goal.
And you talked about it, but playing on the road, they had a big crowd today for their new player. What was it like for you guys staying in that game, getting that late goal in such a hostile environment, and how does that help you guys going forward?
It was very good. It was a difficult place to play with the crowd, the tough. It's different, and conceding early in the game makes the game even harder. We need to fix that and make sure we are the ones scoring first. But I think the team showed the resilience we needed, and we defended well. We worked hard in the second half and could stay in the game, and I think everybody had the right mentality to keep pushing and get the result. And I think that will help us, and hopefully we can keep adding the momentum and get better results at home.
Thanks, Artur.
Thank
All right, Jorge, go ahead.
Artur, congratulations on the goal. Like you said, a very important point away, but just it doesn't get any easier than this for the rest of the season. Just how do you guys build off of this? I know you just talked about playing against a tough crowd, but it wasn't an easy one. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, we knew that Vancouver is living a very good moment right now. Especially at home, they play very well. They know the field. They have the fans behind them, and but also we in the locker room, we know that we need to do a little bit extra. We really want to be on the playoffs. We talked about being a playoff team, and the season we are not where we wanted to be in the season, but we believe that we can achieve and we can make in the playoffs. We can climb in the standings, and everybody's willing to push, and everybody believes that we can be there. So I think even it doesn't matter where we play, if it is in Vancouver or playing away in Austin, and especially at home now, we believe that we can make the playoffs, and we're gonna keep working hard for that. It doesn't matter the stadium we're playing at, and of course at home we need to be even stronger, but we need to keep pushing for the results regardless of the stadium we're playing at.
Coach Ben Olsen says he asked for you guys to stand up and play hard. It was a very physical game, lots of pressure. But you as a captain, how do you maintain your team? Maybe undeserved second yellow card for Brooklyn. That's above me. Just how do you maintain your team?
It's the communication, and then I think passing through the right energy to everybody around. I think we have very good players, and sometimes we just lack or miss a little bit of the physicality and getting on players' bodies and make contact. And I think that's the next step for us that can really help us to get where we want to be, because we have the quality, we have players that can play well, but we need to compete, we need to be physical, and I think we really are hitting that on that button over there to keep pushing, make everybody understand that with the right balance, right? We cannot be getting red cards, and I think also that maybe wasn't deserved for Brooklyn to be sent out, but we're gonna look into that. But in the end, we need to make plays, and if someone is out, we need to cover for him and work as a team. And right now, the mentality of the locker room is to cover each other and have each other's back.